the civil society from UWASNET, and I have one really very simple question for you. Often, we rely on civil society, as we also do on media. I will come to this in a minute. To help unpack the bottlenecks in terms of reaching our decision makers. The help of civil society, joint sector reviews. We look at you as a very important stakeholder to help the sector grow. So from what you have seen, so also the joint advocacy, for example, which is proposed in the SWA cycle. Could you elaborate a little bit on how you see your role? And coming back to our key ingredients for success, maybe raising some points and how we can support you better, or what are we producing is really helpful for you as a civil society representative, and what can we do better?
Thank you so much. Once again, I work for Uganda Water and Sanitation NGO network, the largest network in Africa. And Frank Twinamatsiko is my name. And for us as civil society, we play a very big role being a third sector between the state and the private sector. And as a result of that, we pride ourselves in big numbers. And this has helped us to engage and basing our experience in generating evidences, because the big numbers demonstrate different expertise, different experiences, different skills, but also, as you mentioned, being able to demonstrate to government that civil society have a contribution. And by doing that, in our case in Uganda, we provide evidence on how certain approaches can work by demonstrating models, which again we take to different fora. But before even we go to the sector reviews, we do contribute to strategy making processes and the policy. And because of that, as my commissioner here will attest, then we are part and parcel of the policy development agenda, but also including coordination. So we strategically, our membership are part of the coordination structures at all levels, right from the lowest level of service delivery, but also at the national level where the commissioner sits. So for example, the sanitation working group in my country has membership of the civil society. And definitely what this means that we bring in the perspective of the underserved. And essentially the civil society then primary advocacy of role for those who are least served, but also being able to play the role of providing alternatives. So our members pilot models, some of which you've seen here, and do them. Once they are very successful, then we advocate that government takes over for scaling up, but also to be able to benefit other people. And by doing that, one of the success factors have been relationship building, and also from the experience for SWA, also trying to translate what is from the high level to be able to fit within the country context, so that what has been agreed, we take it back and then they are able to fit into different national contexts to be able to make a meaning, but also be able to help different stakeholders that run the state, those who make policies, those who implement policies, but also who monitor policy implementation. And I think as to wind up, what we need is a linkage, that what is discussed in New York or in Dakar here, civil society who are working at country context, then they are taken and picked in the context of what the country is at a stage, but also looking at how then does it filter into the policy-making processes and different governance structures. So for organizations and institutions which operate at high level, key areas of support for civil society would look at then issues around providing more informed, evidence-informed, but also capacity building for civil society to be able to engage with the state. Gone are the era where civil society and state are enemies. So to be able to win them, you have to be part of them. And I think I'm happy for our case in Uganda. We sit together with policymakers to be able to have a dialogue based on informed and evidence, but also being able to know that the primary role of providing services is the role of the state. And because of that, with civil society, then we are working with government to be able to fulfill that role. And by doing that, then we become partners, but not enemies. Thank you.
Thank you. Just one follow-up question. Are you using the WASH tool?
We do use a multiplicity of tools, depending on the situation we engage with. As she's mentioned, there are many power brokers. So if you are dealing with the minister in charge of finance, then you pick the appropriate tools. As my sister always said, the father was a carpenter. So we have a box full of tools, including the one you just mentioned. So depending on the situation, then we pick and apply so that we are able to then to achieve our advocacy objectives.
So from the tools that were presented for you specifically as civil society, do you see a big gap? Something that you need that is not provided at the moment?
Everywhere worldwide, I think the issue of knowledge is very important, and the knowledge is not constant. To be able to fit into today's world, for example, now most technologies for example reporting are now e-based, but also so it's very important that one of the gaps, potential gaps, is around information, accurate and updated information, which is very critical for advocacy. Otherwise, civil society, in some context, have been labeled as nothing going on, as in the context of NGO, the bigger description is called nothing going on, because they constantly live in yesterday. So it's very important to have updated information, new set of skills, but also being able to be able to engage more as partners constructively.
Thank you. Bonsoir Alain.